Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Central Florida Consortium of Private School Counselors Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you were here. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer your questions. My name is Catherine, and I will be your facilitator for this session. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. This is one of many college presentations being offered, so feel free to check the schedule on the website for more. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded, including this one, and will be available at strivescan.com/Central Florida. We are currently in session E1, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentation. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our very first representative from Illinois Wesleyan University.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Starnes, and I am the regional rep for the Great Sunshine State. I live in East Tennessee and have the pleasure of working with students from the southern states, and just looking forward to getting a chance to talk with you all briefly tonight about Illinois Wesleyan. It looks like we've got a packed house tonight for a virtual event, which is so exciting. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this event. Give you a chance to talk with you, overview about our school and some information about how we were recently named the Hidden Gem School of the Midwest, and also how we ranked top 10 nationally for job placement among all schools and universities. So we'll go ahead and dive on in. So with Illinois Wesleyan, we are a smaller, strong liberal arts university, about 1,700 undergrads, and we're located in the town of Bloomington, Illinois. So it's about 2.5 hours south of Chicago in the central part of the state. We won't see this, so you won't see the larger lecture hall style classroom seating at our institution. 11-to-1 student-teacher ratio, about 16 students in the classroom. You're definitely going to get a lot less lecture and more discussion. That's the beauty of looking at a smaller university. So that way we can really make the classes truly a very small personal experience to be able to have great in-depth conversations with your professor and other peers as well. Now, with our school, we are divided up into 3 main colleges. So we do have our School of Nursing, now with right at 2 decades of 100% job placement. So we do have a direct admit nursing program. We're very known for our fine arts. So if we have any theater students, art students, or music students in the house tonight, we have strong national ranked programs. Our theater arts are very popular, have quite a few students that have already applied and waiting for their audition results from Tampa to Miami and Jacksonville and Orlando for our musical theater program. And then our College of Liberal Arts contains the majority of our 80 major minor combinations. We have everything from neuroscience to physics to political science, strong pre-med program for any pre-med students in the house. We do boast a very strong pre-med program, 85% average acceptance rate across the school with alumni pretty much across the nation in different med school, including the University of Florida, who will be coming up later for their med school program. So just a lot of choices across the board to be able to check out with our school. With our institution, we're always trying to make sure that we're staying diverse and growing our diversity. So right now we have about 1/3 of our campus population of students of color. We have a good, strong interfaith background. Want to make sure that we are open to all students. We have a lot of first-gen students every year coming in. So whether it's diversity or just wanting to make sure that we can help students of all demographics, we want to be that open campus and help students out across the way. Now, at the campus life, we have over 120 different student organizations strong on campus. We do have Greek life with fraternities and sororities, over 1,000 campus events, big and small throughout the year, at theatrical productions. There's so many different ways to get involved. Bloomington itself has about 130,000 people, so it's a good sized college town with our school and Illinois State University. It makes for a good student population in the community. And of course, as I mentioned, Chicago is in our backyard. If anyone's looking to play sports in college, we are D3 in CAA, strong academic All-Americans on our teams and throughout the history. We tend to do very well and dominate a lot of sports across our division in the CCIW and go into postseason play. We also do have esports. So if anyone's looking to potentially want to play esports, you can get recruited for that potentially and earn some scholarship money for our esports program. Anyone's interested in any sports out there, definitely feel free to go on our athletics page so you could go ahead and fill out the recruiting form and connect with the appropriate coaches along the way. Now, financial aid, since we are a Northern institution and a private school, we don't want anyone to feel like they should be intimidated by our total cost. In fact, actually, our average cost of attendance after scholarship is typically around $28,000 for the year, and that is total cost. So that's tuition, room and board, and meals. I'll work with students along the way to make sure that we do everything we can to knock down the financial barrier if there is one preventing you from wanting to attend. And over 95% of our students are going to receive some form of financial aid to help you out. Since I would assume that mostly juniors and sophomores are in the house tonight for the next steps, so our juniors, the application will go live in August. We are on the Common App. It is a free application itself. And we are having open house. So we definitely would love to see you visit. We have an open house next month in March. We will have summer preview days in June and August that are very popular for rising seniors. So coming up and visiting the campus between now and summer before senior year would be great. And I, again, will be able to help you out along the way. Again, my name is Andrew. My contact information is in the top left. So feel free to email or call if you have any follow-up questions after tonight. And just to let you know, if you want to come up and see the campus, there's actually a direct flight from the Orlando Sanford Airport straight to Bloomington. So it's actually a very effective way, cost-effective way to come right up and see the campus. We certainly hope you will get the opportunity. We can't wait to show you around. And again, can't stress enough, thank you so much for tuning in this evening to find out about all the wonderful schools you'll hear from later.
Thank you. The next representative is from James Madison University.
Good evening, everyone. I will echo what Andrew was saying. We are so excited to have you guys here. Let me get my PowerPoint showing. There we go. So as you just heard, I represent James Madison University. We are one of the public universities in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We have a gorgeous campus filled to the brim with state-of-the-art academic buildings, dining halls. We're ranked in the top 10 in the country for on-campus food, and we're kind of obsessed with food on our campus, so we talk about it a lot. Administrative buildings, residence halls, it's all mixed in on campus, and a gorgeous spot here in the Shenandoah Valley up here in Virginia. So like I said, Harrisonburg, we're about 2 hours from Washington, D.C. We're also about 2 hours by car from Richmond. Shenandoah Valley, we've got the Blue Ridge Mountains on one side, the Allegheny Mountains on the other. So it's a really pretty part of the state to be in, easy to get to explore national forests and state parks. But then Harrisonburg is a great college town. We're actually home to Virginia's first culinary district. Again, we're obsessed with the food. We're obsessed with it off campus as well. Lots of locally owned restaurants, many of which are within walking distance of campus. And so students really like to get to explore both campus as well as the community surrounding it. So in terms of some fast facts, as I said, we are one of the public universities in Virginia. We've got about 20,000 undergraduates and about 2,000 grad students. So we are predominantly an undergraduate school. Being public means we're mostly from in-state, but we have about 48 states represented in 66 different countries. So there's a good mix in there in that out-of-state population. A couple things we like to point out, our high freshman retention rate. That tells us two really important things. Number one, students are happy with their choice to come to JMU, so they want to continue on after their freshman year. And number two, they're academically eligible to continue. So they're able to maintain that same level of academic support that earned them admission in the first place through all kinds of different student support services, from academic advisors, learning resource centers, the counseling center, the university health center. Again, anything you can think of, we've got that support for you. We even have a whole building called the Student Success Center that's home to many of those departments. As I said, big public university, but we still have the feeling of a small college academically. Our average class size is only 25, and our student to faculty ratio is only 16:1, which means you get to know your professors, they get to know you get to know your classmates as well. So you have that feeling of being at a much smaller school, but the resources of that big public university. We have a couple different libraries on campus, and of course, lots of ways for students to enhance their academic experience. Going along with that, we offer over 100 different academic majors, minors, and programs of study. So you can see the list on the screen, but the bottom line is whatever you want to study, we probably have something very close to, if not exactly it, at either the major level or even just a way you can concentrate on it within a major program. A lot of our students will double major or add minors and concentrations. I realized I didn't say this when I introduced myself, but I'm a very proud JMU alum. And when I was a student at JMU, my major was communication studies. I had a concentration in public relations and a minor in human resource development. That's a lot of words that just mean I'm a people person and I want to take lots of classes that were going to prepare me for careers where I spent my time interacting with people, kind of like being a college admissions counselor. But like I said, a lot of our students will come in double major, and you can combine any programs you want. A couple years ago, we had a student that was a member of our honors college, and he came to JMU with two really strong passions, and he wanted to pursue them both, and he successfully did it in 4 years. And his double majors were chemistry and musical theater. Those programs have nothing to do with one another. None of those classes overlapped. They're both pretty intense programs, but he was passionate about arts and sciences. And with the support he found on campus, he was able to pursue both, and again, graduate with that double major in 4 years. So when I say you can study whatever you want here, you really can. Now, of course, outside of class, a lot of our students are very active and involved. Big school means lots of clubs and organizations. We have a studentization fair at the beginning of every semester, so it's easy to get involved, sign up for email lists, see what's out there. We have 25 different residence halls on campus that are open to freshmen. In fact, there's only 1 or 2 that freshmen can't live in. So freshmen really do dominate the on-campus experience. We have a couple of residential living learning communities, which are ways you can make that big campus feel a little bit smaller. Again, I'm going to bring up the food again because we really are obsessed with it. Over 28 different dining facilities, from all you care to eat, big cafeteria style, to grab and go coffee shops. We are one of a handful of schools in the country. One of the other ones is here on the group with us tonight, that have little robots that can actually deliver food to you. You go online, you can order your coffee or your food, and this little square robot delivers it to your building. So again, we eat really well wherever we are on campus. We are Division I for all of our varsity sports. For those of you that are really following closely the Division I sports world, we are changing conferences. As of July 1st of this coming summer, we'll be part of the Sun Belt Conference. So we're excited to see that big change. About 17 Division I sports, from football to swimming and diving, track and field. We also have a huge marching band, which I always bring up when I talk about sports because it has 500 students in it. And it is just as popular an attraction at football games or at basketball games when it's the pep band as the athletics. And the Marching Royal Dukes are a pretty big deal here on campus. And then of course, we've got club sports and intramural sports. So whatever level of athletics you would like to either participate in or observe, we've got that for you. My favorite intramural sport is actually coming up next week. We have intramural Battleship. So it's like the board game Battleship, but it takes place in the pool in our student rec center. People get in costumes. It's fantastic. And I know I'm running out of time, so I get really excited to talk about it. So admissions information, applications online, we focus on your academics. We've been test optional since 2017, so it's all about your academics. I'm going to put my information in the chat, and of course, all of our information is online. And I'm going to turn it over to the next person.
Very helpful information. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder, as stated, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to submit those questions using the Q&A button towards the bottom of your screen. Our representatives are here and available to assist. The next representative is from University College Dublin.
Hey everyone. Glad you all are here tonight. My name is Kendall Hook. I am the University College Dublin, or what we would call UCD, representative for the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast region. So I work with all of our Florida students, but I am physically based in Manhattan in New York City. But just to get started, as you can imagine, I'm throwing something a little different into the mix. We're not in Dublin, Ohio. We are actually in Dublin, Ireland. So if you didn't know it was possible to study abroad for your full undergraduate degree, now you know it is possible. I don't know if you have been to Ireland yourself, or if you have friends or family go, or if you've seen TV shows, movies, read books about Ireland. But I think the general consensus is that no one has ever said anything bad about Ireland, at least that I've heard. I am biased. But it is an incredible country, not only to just visit for fun, but to also study in as well. For being such a small country, it is a very globally connected and multicultural society. So why Dublin? That is where UCD is. When I say it is globally connected and multicultural, I mean that it is the main hub for people from all over the world to come to Ireland, either for school or for work. We are one of EU's headquartered capitals. So you have companies like Airbnb, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., have their headquarters in Dublin, which of course brings in not only people from around the world, but also other startup companies as well, which makes it a really cool place to study, do internships, stay for work after graduation, etc. We are the only predominantly English-speaking member country of the EU, so there are some benefits, including the Erasmus program and study abroad opportunities that come with being in the EU. But Dublin itself is an incredible city. It's not as overwhelming as a London or a Paris or a Rome, so you can really get the benefits of being in a major European capital city without the overwhelming size. So Dublin is incredibly young. It has about half of Dublin's population is under the age of 34. So there's a great nightlife, a great art scene, comedy scene, business sector. I mean, it's an awesome place, but easy to navigate, very walkable. And the airport is very close to campus, so it's not difficult to just catch a plane for $40 US to any other European country that you want. UCD, our campus, we are just south of Dublin City Centre by about 3 miles or so. We are located in a more residential area of the city, so it's a little bit quieter than downtown, but you're only about a 20-minute bus ride through a very lovely area called the Embassy District to get into the hustle and bustle of the downtown area. We are one of Ireland's oldest universities, ranked in the top 1% of universities worldwide. But for being such an old university, we do have a relatively modern campus. So we moved down to this campus location in the 60s. So all of our buildings are mid-century modern on. We do have about 19,000 undergrads, and about 30% are international, which is huge. As a point of comparison, US universities may have roughly 10% international students or fewer. So we have about 8,000 international students on campus coming from all over the world, and the US being the third largest international student group. So overall, our campus feels very similar to a large public research institution, I would say, here in the US. We do have on-campus accommodation, which is pretty unique for a European university. You would have the benefit of your own private single bedroom, and you would share common facilities like a kitchen, living area with a smaller group of students. We have a residence life team with RAs on campus to help build community within the living arrangements. So that creates an easier transition when you're kind of stepping outside of your comfort zone and heading into a country that you're unfamiliar with. And we do seek to guarantee all of our international first-year students a place on campus. We have all of the amenities and services on campus that you're typically used to. We have different libraries for different academic disciplines, writing center, math tutoring center, career services center. We're ranked the #1 school in Ireland for graduate employability. But we also have a really robust student life as well. So we don't have Greek life, that is a very US-centric thing, but we do have over 130 different clubs and organizations to get involved in. Even sports, we do have sports. I just learned that UCD has over 70 soccer teams. which is kind of crazy, but that just goes to show that you can really get involved in whatever sport you want at whatever competitive level you want as well. We do have over 70 undergrad degree programs, and these are a list of the colleges that we have on campus. But I want to point out that a hallmark of European education is that typically you don't have general education requirements. So if you want to be an English major, you never have to take another biology or STEM class again if you don't want. Or if you want to be an engineer or a biology student, you never have to take another art history if you don't want as well. So you can really dive in to what you want. So that means that we call those direct entry. So you would apply directly to the programs you're interested in starting, and you can jump in right away. We at UCD do have a special program called the Liberal Arts and Sciences program. That's pretty unique for a European university as well. And that program is just for US students who may be undecided, who may be trying to decide between a couple of different colleges. So what that is a program you apply to, but it's essentially a pathway to the ultimate degree you want, where you can try out classes in several different colleges your first year before transferring into the program you want to ultimately graduate in. And you can do that, as long as it's not engineering, you can do that within 4 years. I would say that it's pretty easy to apply to UCD. There are a select number of international universities on the Common application, and we are one of them. So I would recommend the Common App just because you're probably going to be on it anyway, and it's pretty easy. But alternatively, you can apply directly on our website. We operate on a standard US timeline as well. So applications open October, but we do have rolling admission through July 1st. We have scholarships available for international students from anywhere between 10 to 100% of tuition. About 70% of all of our North American students do receive some sort of merit-based scholarship upon application. And we can accept US federal aid as well. So we have a team on campus that will walk you through that. So even though we're abroad, you still have that support as you navigate that financial aspect as well. So if you want to stay in touch, I will drop my information in the chat, and I appreciate you guys tuning in today.
Thank you so much. Again, we really appreciate it. The next representative is from University of Toronto.
Hi, everyone. Just give me 1 second while I get set up here, and then we will get started. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for being here tonight. My name is Erin. I'm part of the recruitment team here at the University of Toronto. As some of you might know, the University of Toronto is at the heart of a dynamic and diverse region. There truly is no better place to be than in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about how we can mix and match our programs to really design a degree that you're passionate about and it really excites you. Also, we will leave some time at the end to be able to review a few admission basics. Now, the University of Toronto is Canada's top-ranked university, something that we're really proud of, and is Canada's flagship university for research and discovery. We're ranked in the world's top 20 year after year, in part because our campus truly does attract the best and brightest from all over the world. A lot of people know that insulin was discovered at the University of Toronto, but did you know that stem cell research started here too? The world's first nerve transplant, the world's first electronic pacemaker, and the world's first treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma are just a few of U of T's many contributions. We've produced Oscar winners, Olympic champions, Nobel laureates, and best-selling authors. We know all of you have different goals and dreams as to what you want to do after you graduate, and we're really here to help support those and make those dreams come true. Now, this legacy of innovation is driven by the connections we have with each other and with our neighborhoods and communities all across the Greater Toronto Area. Hopefully, some of you have had the chance to visit Toronto. If you haven't, you're definitely missing out, and hopefully you'll come visit us soon. The BBC once ranked Toronto as the world's most diverse city, and while there are definitely lots of contenders, we're definitely up there. In fact, half of Toronto's population was born outside of Canada and speaks languages other than English. Our city is safe, clean, absolutely delicious, and has something for everyone. Now, our central location has helped us to grow and expand to 3 campuses, all within an hour of each other, offering the same top quality education. When you graduate, you'll earn the exact same U of T degree, regardless of the campus you choose. It really makes no difference. So I wanted to talk a little bit about each of our 3 campuses. To the west, you'll find U of T Mississauga, which is about a half hour outside of downtown Toronto. It's a mid-sized campus with about 16,000 undergraduate students, and it's located on 225 acres of gorgeous green space. Most of the buildings are newly built, so it has a very modern feel to it. U of T Mississauga offers programs in arts, science, and business. U of T St. George is our founding campus, and it's found right in the heart of downtown Toronto. We have over 35,000 undergraduate students, so it's definitely our largest in terms of student population, and is a wonderful mix of Gothic buildings and brand new glass and steel towers. U of T St. George is home to the Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape and Design, the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering, the Faculty of Kinesiology and Physical Education, and the Faculty of Music, along with the Faculty of Arts and Science. And our third campus is U of T Scarborough, which is about a half hour east of the downtown core. It's a mid-sized campus with about 15,000 undergraduate students. It's located on over 300 acres of parkland in the Highland Creek Valley. So if you like to hike or, bike or run on trails, it's a great, lots of opportunities there for you to do that. In addition to offering programs in art, science, and business, U of T Scarborough is really known for our co-op program. So if you're looking for 2 to 3 paid work terms built right into your 4-year degree, you can absolutely do that at Scarborough. And Scarborough is really truly a place for students who learn best by doing. Now, one of the things I really enjoy about U of T is that you're not only going to have a home base on our campuses, but you're also going to have a team to support and cheer you on. Each of our campuses is home to a wide range of student supports, and our students truly take full advantage of these services. I know, especially coming, as an international student, there are tons of supports to help you with that transition. The other thing I really enjoy about U of T is that you can mix and match your degree to really represent who you are. We have over 700 program options, and in those 700 program options, you can combine majors, minors, specialists, and certificates in different fields. We're really all about choice, and at the end, when you graduate, that degree should really represent you. Now, we're not just about getting involved inside of the classroom, but we also encourage our students to get involved outside of the classroom. You can build your co-curricular record, you can gain paid work experience through our co-op programs, you can take research courses, or you can even study on exchange with our 160 different partner institutions in over 40 different countries. We have the largest intramural program in Canada, so I promise you won't be bored. There is definitely something for everyone. So if being part of Canada's #1 university sounds exciting and fantastic, how do we get you there? While I can't cover the admission requirements for every program in the short time we have tonight, I do really encourage you to take a look at our online resources, which are listed on the PowerPoint here, where you'll be able to find all the answers and easy ways to connect with us. In general, we're looking for strong academic results in the last 2 years of high school, along with specific prerequisite courses depending on the program that you're applying to. Now, no matter what program you're applying to, all of our applicants are automatically considered for merit-based awards. You can also learn about our largest international scholarship, which is our Lester B. Pearson Award, by visiting the site listed on the web, or listed here. And all students can also use our Handy Awards Explorer to find even more award opportunities. So thanks again for your time today. I know this was a quick kind of overview, but don't forget to drop by discover.utoronto.ca. That's where you'll find more information about tours, webcasts, and on-demand content from your target campus or programs. It's also where you can book a one-on-one appointment with a U of T recruiter like me. Thank you so much, and I'm going to pass it back to Catherine.
Very helpful, thank you. Before we hear from our last 2 institutions, just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Any questions at all, we encourage you to submit those questions. And if you have something specific for any of our institutions represented, we encourage you to include the school name as well. The next representative is from George Mason University.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Jeff Fusco, and I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Regional Admissions for George Mason University. I'm actually based right in Orlando, Florida, about a half mile down from Lake Highlands campus. So if any of you are from there, I'll wave hi next time I'm passing the school on my way to my morning coffee. And I am so excited to be here to share a bit about our Mason story with you. Mason is a place that has a place in my heart, near and dear in my heart, because I'm a product of a Mason education. I'm originally from Western Massachusetts. And when I was going through my college search process, I really wanted to find a unique type of institution. I didn't want to go where all of my friends were going. I wanted to be near a city, but not in a city. And I wanted a campus that excited me. And that's what I found when I found George Mason. We actually are celebrating our 50th year as an institution this year. And I'm so excited because it's giving us an opportunity to really look back on all that we've accomplished over the past 50 years, but also excites us because Mason's a place that's constantly looking forward. So what does those next 50 years have in store? I don't know, but maybe you can help be a part of shaping what that is as a member of our class. A big question we get is our location. Where are we at? And I always like to say it's the Goldilocks of locations. We are not too close to the city. We're not too far from the city. We're really just right, being 15 miles west of Washington, D.C. in beautiful Fairfax, Virginia. The moment that you set foot on our campus, you will fall in love. It's full of green trees, really high-tech academic spaces, just about 7,000 residential beds on campus. It's a really, really great spot. And I think that it gives you that best of both worlds, having that access and opportunity of a large city with a plethora of internship opportunities, being able to go participate in events happening in Washington, D.C. It also allows us to attract some really high caliber faculty members who are living in the region and might be connected to the region in a plethora of ways or retired from old roles. It's constantly exciting to see where our faculty are coming from, but then also getting to take advantage of our suburban campus atmosphere. In the past 50 years, we've grown to become the largest public research university in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're one of a handful of universities to reach Tier 1 or R1 status, meaning that if you want to participate in research, you're going to have the opportunity to do it as a student at Mason. In our short history, we've grown to over 27,000 undergraduate students and have the youngest law school in the top 50. One of the unique programs that we're able to offer our undergraduate students, and actually youngest law school in the top 40 as we just cracked that this past year in these most recent rankings. But we have a program called 3+3, which allows our undergraduate students to complete their undergraduate coursework in 3 years and automatically be guaranteed admission into George Mason Law, saving you time and money in the process of getting to law school. In addition, we have a Mason to Mason program, which is another guaranteed pathway for those that take the full 4 years, but have a guaranteed acceptance into George Mason Law, as well as a variety of other accelerated master's programs. We have the second largest residential campus in the state with just over 6,000 students living on our campus. And we're also the 12th most diverse university in the nation, being represented by all 50 states and 139 different countries. That was another thing that really attracted me to Mason. I was from a really small town that had little to no diversity. And when I set foot on our campus, I felt like it was a place where I could meet the world. And I think that's what college is about. It's about exposing you to different people's different thoughts, different ideas. And a lot of that comes through diversity. And our diversity isn't just who we are or where we're coming from. It also plays into our classroom environment with having over 80 different undergraduate majors, 140 different minors and concentrations, ways that you can kind of customize, make the degree really specific to your skills, your talents, and your desires, your interests. And 100 different accelerated master's programs, which are a 5-year pathway to completing both your bachelor's and master's degrees. Some of our most popular undergraduate majors include criminology, law and society, government and international politics, computer science, business, engineering, direct admit nursing, economics, and forensic science. One of the most exciting things of our forensic science program, for those of you who might be into the criminal minds, CSI type of world, we're one of 7 campuses in the country to be home to a federal body farm, which is exactly what it sounds like. Personally, it's a little gross to me. But for students who are looking to study forensics, it's providing really great research opportunities and hands-on learning opportunities, both with our faculty and through independent research. And speaking of experiential learning, it's not just the body farm. There are a multitude of ways that our students get involved and engaged, especially in the Washington, D.C. region. 74% of our students will graduate with either research and or internship credit on their transcript, meaning our students are taking advantage of all of the ways that the Washington, D.C. region can be their classroom. And I'll show you a small sample of some of the employers that our students are interning with and getting jobs with. But also just being able to get engaged with research, finding ways to take what you're learning in the classroom and apply those practical skills, which leads to an 89% positive outcome rate within 6 months for our graduates. So our students are going on to law school, they're going on to medical school, other forms of graduate programs, finding full-time employment with the highest average starting salary out of any university in the Commonwealth. We do all of this while still being able to maintain small classroom sizes with a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio. 84% of our classes or 84% of our classes have 35 or less students in them. I'm going to skip this slide for time. These are those employers that I had mentioned that are actively recruiting out of our student body that our students are finding success in. We have tons of jobs in the federal government and have a unique clearance ready program that it's a boot camp to help our students get ready for jobs in the federal government or with private contracting. And like I said, just a few examples here. The last thing I will leave you with is our admissions requirements. We have a GPA average 3.3 to 3.9. We are proudly score optional, have been since 2006. So it's really not a major factor, but these are our middle 50% because we truly believe in a holistic review process. 92% of my students from Florida over the last 3 years have been offered some type of merit scholarship, with our top 2 levels of merit scholarship being over 50% of out-of-state tuition costs. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, jfusco@gmu.edu. I hope you have a great night and go Patriots.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from the University of Florida.
So I had to unmute myself there. Hello, my name is Charles Murphy, and I'm the Director for Freshman International Admission at the University of Florida. So I want to thank everybody for taking some time out of their evening to learn a little bit more about all of our colleges and universities, but obviously specifically about UF. You'll see some great fast facts, pictures of the campus, et cetera, scrolling behind me as I talk. So first of all, I'm going to make an assumption that since this is a fair for Florida students and families, you may be familiar with the University of Florida or where it's located, but just in case you're not, I know most of you are in Central Florida, so it's just an easy trip up I-75 to come to Gainesville. We're about 2 hours roughly from Orlando, so depending on where you're logging in from, an easy drive up to Gainesville. We are a very large campus, as you saw there, with some of our numbers, well over 30,000 undergraduate students, over 50,000 students total at the University of Florida. So we're a very large and comprehensive university. And we are your state flagship. We are your state land grant institution. So what that means is that probably anything you want to study, you're going to be able to find at the University of Florida. Whether that's something in a STEM field, whether that's journalism, whether that's going into a health science area, the arts, dance, music, theater, agriculture, architecture, almost anything you can think of. Again, you're going to be able to study at the University of Florida. So that's the first thing that I hope you leave remembering, is that you're going to have tons of options academically if you come to UF. The other thing to know is that we don't expect you to have all those options and opportunities figured out when you start at the University of Florida. We really treat all students as undeclared when they come in. Now, you may know exactly what you want to go into, that you want to major in a particular area. You may have no idea what you want to major in, and there's probably something in between there where many of you are, that you're leaning towards an area of study or a particular field, but maybe you're not 100% sure. But we really work with students, especially during during their first 1 to 2 years at UF to really explore all the options that are available to them and really put you on the path of where you want to go and put you on the path of success as you define it. The next thing I want to talk about is actually that slide that just came up is a little bit about the value of University of Florida education. Again, I know most, if not all of you are logging in from Florida today. So have a great opportunity to attend Florida, most likely as an in-state student. We have one of the lowest tuition rates in the country. We have the lowest in-state rate for tuition of any of the US News and World Report top 50 ranked universities. So you just have a great deal, quite honestly, by just living in the state of Florida and being able to attend your home institution, in addition to some of the scholarship opportunities that are available to you, either through the state, like Bright Futures, or through the university. And that comes in the form of both merit-based aid, but also need-based aid. So if you are a low-income student or a low-income family that's looking at the University of Florida, you're going to be able to find an education that is extremely affordable. But affordability is only one part of that equation. It's also the quality of what you're getting. And I think you're going to find that at the university. So that return on investment is really going to be immense. So in my couple remaining minutes, I want to talk about 3 things. The first is the community that you can find at the University of Florida. We're a large institution, we're a diverse institution, as you see listed there in the slideshow, about 1,000 student organizations at UF. So you can find your niche, whatever that is, whether that's academically, finding folks who have similarities to you or activities to be involved in. If you love singing, there are singing organizations. There are religious organizations, there are cultural organizations. Wherever you find your niche, you're going to be able to find it on our campus, again, of 30,000 plus students. That's extremely diverse. The second thing I want to talk about is, again, another slide that just came up, is outcomes. Our students are extremely successful here at the University of Florida. We have tons of ways to really prepare you for life after the university, because you're going to spend 4 very short years on our campus learning and having that great college experience. And you're going to spend tons more time as an alum of the University of Florida. So it's all about how we prepare you for that life after graduation. We have a great career connection center that works with students from the beginning of their first semester at UF all the way up to graduation, helping them do career inventories, thinking about what you want to do for a profession. Maybe if you want to continue your studies onto graduate professional school, and really helping you when you come to that point with, resume, cover letter workshops, mentorship opportunities through alums, career coaching, really everything to set you up for success, again, however it is that you define it after you leave the University of Florida. And the last thing that I want to talk about before I run out of time is just quickly about the admissions process. University of Florida and the state of Florida, all of the public universities, we do require test scores. So I know it's a little different than the previous institutions that presented. So I want to just make sure that you know that we do need an ACT or an SAT to consider you for admission. But really the more important thing is going to be your high school performance. And that's the most important part of our academic review. We're looking at the courses that you've taken over the course of 4 years, how you performed in those courses, what is the level of those courses. That's the core part of our review. And then we're also looking at activities and essays. And really November 1st is the date to just keep in mind. That's when you need to submit your application to the University of Florida, is by that November 1st date. So again, you can find more information about us at admissions.ufl.edu. There's a lot of great information on that website, and also put in the chat where you can sign up to get more information. So thanks so much for your time, and I'll turn it back over to our facilitator.
Thank you so much. And all great information from all our representatives. Again, thank you so much for it all. And thank you to each of our attendees for joining us. We have now reached the conclusion of this session. As we close, there'll be a very quick 5-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback is extremely helpful. This is one of many sessions happening, so feel free to check out the schedule on the website for more. And lastly, this session, along with all the other sessions, are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Central Florida. Again, thank you all and have a great night.